Good morning, folks, and welcome to my channel. I'm out by the lake, and I stepped out on my porch and I thought, well, it'll be warm enough, I won't wear a hat, but it's a little breezy down here next to the lake. So at least I have my scarf. If it gets to be too much, I'll just put my scarf around my head. So how are you all doing? I hope you all had a good weekend. Some of you got my message on the community tab, and I think some of you actually went over to my Adirondack channel and subscribed. Thank you. Thank you if you did that. So let's get started with today's talk. Now, I like to do the talk at the beginning because for those of you that might want to, cut off early, sometimes my videos run a little long when I do the full walk. So I like to do my talk first. So today I'm basically going to talk about, the normal emotional pain that we've talked about many times before. The emotional pain when you're heavy, when you're fat, when you're obese, however you want to call it, overweight. And then the beauty of what happens when you become new again. So let's begin. The first thing is the shame that we feel and we feel like we're trapped in our own bodies. Every move that we do, we feel heavier. It's more of a struggle. Now, I know this is repetitive, but I just thought it would be a good thing to think about because the holidays are coming up. Thursday is a gobble gobble day. So when you're heavy like that, everything is harder. Just like we spoke about in the last video. Your breathing is harder. Now listen to me today. If I get down those last 49 pounds, and I'll tell you I haven't weighed myself, I'm afraid to because I did weigh myself like a week and a half ago, and there was no change. I'm holding steady at 25 pounds, folks. That scale's not moving. And I don't want to get on it because it does discourage me. So anyway, that's the shame that we feel when we feel heavy and trapped and we can't do the things we want to do. Then you have the isolation that we get. We don't feel like doing anything because we're not feeling well and it's too hard to do anything. We feel like we're different from other people. I know that feeling. We don't want to go to events. We don't want to have our picture taken. We don't like to walk in front of mirrors because, it just reminds us of how out of shape and how bad we're hurting. And it hurts. It does hurt. And we know we're the one that can change it. Nobody else can. Self-harm is what we're doing to ourselves, folks. A slow, gradual decline every time we put that food into our mouths. We use food as comfort because there's nothing else we can do. If you're hurting, you don't want to get out of the house, you got to have something to enjoy. So we use food. And then that food becomes like a prison because it keeps us in the house. We just can't win. Keep doing that, folks. We're a prison in our own house, in our own body. So we eat to try to feel better because it's the only outlet that we have. Because everything else is too difficult. Folks, I'm out of breath. I think I am walking fast though. And then you have the grief that we always feel of all the years that we lost. Now, I lost a lot of years, almost all through my 50s and early 60s. Well, over a decade, I'm sure, that I could have enjoyed myself a lot more than what I did. I mean, I'm not going to say I had a terrible life because I did some good things, but it could have been so much better if I was in shape and feeling good. That wind is a little strong, folks. I hope it's not interfering. So we feel sorry about that. A lot of grief over the years that gets wasted. Then we fear the weight taking away our independence. We talked about this. You know, and that is a biggie the older we get. The idea of losing our independence. We talked about this many times. I gotta slow down. I don't know why I'm racing. I think I want to get off this road and get into my warm car. I should have wore a hat, but I'm not gonna mess with the scarf right now. You know, the older we get, the more we need to keep ourselves in shape, folks. You know, we don't want to have to rely on people to help us with every little thing that we do. You know, that's why the stretching and even walking in place, whatever you could possibly do, maybe lift weights for your arms, squats, anything you could possibly do, it's gonna help. If you can get on that routine we talked about and get into the habit of doing it. Hold on, folks. Sorry. My nose is running a little. You know, we'll all be so much better off. The older we get, we can remain active and not be dependent on people. Then we have the fear of embarrassment, like sitting on a chair that collapses. Now that, I believe, is what happened to my back. Well, that's one thing anyway. I went to sit on one of those cheap lawn chairs, and the chair tipped back and hit the middle of my back. And I think that's when my pelvis was tilted. But I mean, there's probably been a lot of things through the years. I think about all sorts of things that might have happened. But you're embarrassed, you know? You're embarrassed that if you try to sit down and you don't fit in the chair. Now, how many times does that happen? You know, some of those chairs are so small. I had to buy the lawn chairs that I bought. I bought 2 of them. And I paid a little bit of money for them because I wanted them to be sturdy. And so I bought the wide ones. I have 2 nice wide lawn chairs. You know, the kind that fold up that you could take to the beach or whatever. Because I didn't want to skimp on what I was going to sit down on. You know, I knew my weight was an issue, folks. So, and then even the breathing like I'm doing right now. Now this isn't bothering me because I'm with you guys. But I can remember times that I was with somebody and I was breathing so heavy and struggling, and I was ashamed of how heavy I was breathing. I try to hold it and not sound like I'm ready to pass out. Try to act normal and not breathe loud because it's embarrassing. You know, I was in my 50s. I shouldn't have been breathing like that. It was the weight that I was carrying. So that's an embarrassment too. And then you feel judged. We talked about that. You blame yourself. You punish yourself. You punish yourself by eating some more. You think you're getting comfort, but look, busy here. I thought all these people went home for the winter. See, there's still a lot of people around here. So that's what happens. You feel like your life is slipping away. You watch others out there enjoying themselves, hiking, traveling. Now, I like to travel, but like I said recently, my last trip, I don't like to be on that highway. That highway scares me. It's crazy people out there. Plus, I don't like to drive after dark anymore. The glare from the new headlights bother me terribly. So, you know, it starts to dawn on you that you can't do the things that you used to do. And now this happens to normal aging. People feel this way. You know, little by little, there's things that you used to do that you can't do anymore. But it's tenfold to people that are heavy. You know, it's tenfold. And it starts earlier. So, you know, and that's kind of depressing to realize you can't do things that you used to do, folks. Now, let's get into how beautiful life can be when you begin to lose that weight. You start to feel a spark in your life. You know, you start to get some of that positivity back. And excitement of being alive again. I know that's what's happening to me. It's gradual. Doesn't happen overnight. But the longer you stay with it, the better it gets. And I can vouch for that because my life is changing just in the 7 or 8 months that I've been doing this. Changing for the better. I'm at the end, folks. I'm going to turn around right now. And that's one of the beautiful things that happens. I'm grateful for it. I'm out of breath today for some reason. Your body becomes lighter. Your spirit gets lighter. Your mind clears. You feel possibilities again. Your confidence comes back. I'm just going real quick over this because we've talked about this in depth before. But I want to remind you of it all. Your confidence gets better. You walk straighter. Your clothes fit better. You feel seen again, folks. You don't feel ignored. People look at you. People talk to you like you're part of the human race. I shouldn't laugh because I know not all people are like that, but some people treat you differently when you're heavy. You know, and I've noticed through the years that happens. You begin trusting yourself again. You keep promises. You stay consistent. And you start to realize that you're more capable than what you thought you were. Now, me losing my weight, you know, every time I lose a pound, I'm like, wow, I can do it. I can do it. And then one little pound brightens my day. But I know I'm at 25 pounds for a long time now. We'll get it straightened out. You feel that hope come back. Life is good. You see a future where you're healthier and when you're doing the things that you always wanted to do. Your world gets bigger. It does, folks. Now, I have notes to remind me to say this, but all of these are facts. And all of these things are happening to me in a short amount of time, in less than a year. Now, what's going to happen when a year is up? I'm hoping it's going to be that much better. And doing the things that you used to do start to come back again. Now, we're going to lose some of those things just because we're aging. But we still could have a quality of life no matter how old we are, as long as we take care of our health. We eat the right food. We feed our body food that it can thrive on, not food that's going to bring us down, you know, cause the inflammation. Oh, I got a big truck coming. I'm going to climb over here on the side of the hill. Hi. Oh. Hello. I thought he was getting out of the truck to talk to me. He's the garbage man. Okay, so for the first time in a long time, you don't feel trapped. You don't feel ashamed. You feel strong, peaceful, and free. And you can do it, folks. We all can do it. We can't give up. We have to keep at it one day at a time. Do the best that we could do. And it will get better. It's gradual. You don't have to go cold turkey. Go slow. Make little changes. Do some exercise. Now, you know, I was thinking this morning about, you know how they say your diet is 80% of getting better? 80% is your diet. And only 20% is from exercise. Now, the way that I look at it, folks, is, yeah, the exercise might not be a big thing to lose weight with, but for us folks that are getting older, that exercise is extremely important. No, it might not, be the answer. That you can't exercise 6 hours a day and still pig out. Losing weight is with the food, but that exercise, that's going to release the stress that you're under. When you're working out and breaking out with a sweat and breathing heavy, that is releasing the stress. Because when you're changing your body and you're shifting it to eating the fuel, to burning the fuel, that's stressful as you begin. Your life is changing. It's stressful. And the exercise is going to help you to get rid of that stress. So that is one reason why the exercise is so important. And another reason why is because as we're aging, we have to loosen up our joints. We have to stretch out our muscles. We have to do those squats. We have to build the thigh muscles, the calf muscles. That's all important for us as we age. So they say it's 20% as far as weight loss goes, but exercise is so important, folks. And I know if I slack off and I'm not doing my exercise, it doesn't take me long to feel it, to start feeling bad. Even if I'm eating the right way, I need to stretch out. I need to do that. And getting this fresh air into my lungs, it makes me feel so much better. So, exercise is important for us, to release that tension. I'm sure you folks know what I mean, but anyway, I'm gonna get off that subject. I'm not gonna go all the way back either because this is already starting to get long. So folks, I hope you're all doing well. This video will go out at 4 o'clock. I'm trying to get this algorithm and also let you guys know when you can expect me. But it also helps the algorithm because it gets to know when my video's coming out, and it'll hopefully become consistent. But so I got some running around, some errands to do. I'm not cooking dinner for Thanksgiving, but I'm going to a friend's house, and I could tell you, he ran off a list of things he's making, and how he's having 3 different kinds of pies. And I asked if I could bring anything. He said I should bring some ice cream. Folks, I can't tell you that doesn't sound good to me. So don't think you're the only one that is worried about this. I talk about how confident and how strong we feel, but my mind is saying, oh, it's not very often. I should be able to have a little bit. And I can't tell you right now that I'm not going to. Because I'm not as strong as I make out to be, folks. And the thing is, I don't want to tell you that I'm going to eat something I'm not supposed to eat, because I don't want to negatively influence you guys. If I do that, I'm not much of a help to you. But I just want you to know that I'm the same as you. Many of you who are thinking about the food that's going to be around in 3 more days. But I'll tell you what, if I do slip and have something, it's not going to be a lot, and it's not going to be so much that it spikes my blood pressure, my blood sugar, so high that I can't come back from it, that it's hard to get back from. Now, I know, listen to me, that's how the mind works. I'm trying to justify. Oh, folks, it's not easy. By no stretch of the imagination is it easy, especially on holidays. But all the things we talk about, that's what we have to remember. We can't go back. That little piece of pie, it's not worth it. That sun feels so good, folks. But if we do slip up a little, it's not the end of the world either. Basically, I'm just telling you, I'm the same. I have the same problems, and we're only human. That sun was so nice. Anyway, what time is it? I'm gonna say goodbye, folks. I love you guys. I'll be back on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. Have a great day. Be safe and take care. Bye.